This episode is brought to you by Ferrero. Soccer's biggest stage is approaching, and Ferrero is making it easy to go all in. Pick any two Ferrero brands from Kinder Bueno to Ferrero Rocher, and you could win the $1 million grand prize, plus an exciting range of daily and weekly prizes. Don't miss your shot. Official rules apply. Learn more at goallinandwin.com.
TaxAct knows every small business owner has different tax filing needs. With TaxAct, you can file yourself with the help of an expert, or TaxAct can do it all for you. You're the boss, the head honcho, the top banana. And TaxAct is like your loyal, trusty tax aide, ready to pounce on any tax needs you might have. TaxAct is dying to pounce on some small business tax needs. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. I'm Teacup.
And I'm She-Cup, and we are so excited to bring you this podcast dedicated to unraveling all the mysteries woven in to the Assassin's Creed universe.
Each episode will be diving into a different lore discussion, from Pieces of Eden, solar flares, and the Isu to the Hidden Ones, the Order of Ancients, and of course, the Animus. We will seek to uncover it all.
So step into the Animus, join us in the shadows, and maybe even take a leap of faith. Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby. You also know me as She-Cup, and I am here with my co-host.
Hey, I am Austin or Teacup.
That you are, and we are back with another objective circle missions for Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I'm just going to turn it over to Austin.
All right, today we are talking about the Corrupt Daikan. This is a quest that can be completed by Yahweh or Yasuke, though it kind of makes... Did I say Yahweh?
You did. You did.
Nawe. Jeez. Or Yasuke. And you can complete that there. And though it makes sense, in my opinion, that it's completed by Yasuke, you can do whatever you want in that decision there. And so we'll jump into that one just now. So this is unlocked during the Yasuke quest and education. The player must report to Nobutsuna Sensei in Azuchi Castle. Once they arrive, you learn that Nobutsuna has relocated, and a flashback will play out. After the flashback, Yasuke will meet Kuma, who is one of Lady Oichi's bodyguards, who instruct him to take down the Corrupt Daikan. These targets are leaders who are corrupt, obviously, and are oppressing the people under their charge. Did you do this one?
I did. Kuma is the big guy, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you have to do this one to like romance Lady Oichi, right?
Yes. Oh, well, one of them is tied to that main quest of the Mourner.
Then yes, I did them all.
All right. So let's just jump right into the members. So we first have the Soiled Merchant, or Ishiki Matsukaku. So in his early life, Ishiki Mansaku mainly worked in taking care of the villagers' waste management, hence the Soiled Merchant. So basically cleaning up the streets, because obviously like they don't have indoor plumbing. So like he created systems that basically disposed of human feces.
Yeah, he's the waste management guy.
Uh-huh. Not waste management in terms of the mafia.
Well, yes, in terms of the mafia, because that was the job that they supposedly did.
I guess that's
somebody still did the job. It doesn't matter if you were paid by the mafia or whoever else.
I guess that's fair. That is true. So basically, he feels inferior. And so he basically rises through the ranks of being good at his job and becomes the Daikon of Atsu. So he abuses his power by stealing more than is necessary from the earnings of his people. And so that has why he is corrupt, because he's basically taking more tribute and taxes from the people than that is necessary to maintain the settlement or whatnot.
He's embezzling money from the people to go into his own pocket.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when you enter Omi from the southern side, you'll first find the correct location of the soiled merchant. You'll see the mouth of Seta region as soon as you enter from the left side of the river at the bottom, and you can find the required settlement northwest of where this is, of basically the mouth of Seta is written on the map in game. In the southern part, basically the Otso lower district, you can basically try to find the merchant, or if you have guided mode on, he'll just have a quest marker on there. He lives in a group of houses covered by tall trees, and you can find an entrance when you go to the back. At some point, you'll see a bigger roof that you can climb on and then assassinate him from above. And so basically then you can assassinate this corrupt Daikan and he's dead. So the hedonist, which is what signs, or Okidairia Toshizo, is basically held the Daiken position of Omizo, and he abused his power similarly by taking more than is necessary of the amount of resources from his people, mainly the farmers, for food and other things, and basically didn't address any public concerns and instead used the money on paying for the, quote, the game debauchery.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes. Again, this is right up the assassin's alleyway. This is definitely something they would be dealing with.
Oh, 100%.
And so basically you can go to the Otto River on the western side, right below where you see a river. Basically from the hideout in this city, you can head out to find a group of houses. You'll basically go through a dark entrance and it will lead you to the Daikon, and you can assassinate him from behind. Basically these first two members are easily assassinated because they are not really, they're just easy to sneak up on. And so if you have guaranteed assassination,
it's just easy to accomplish.
And some of these are soldiers and some of these are not. They're not that difficult to deal with.
Yeah, but I can see how, at least with this soiled merchant, if you don't have on guided mode, I can see how it would be a little bit more difficult to hunt him down and find him, because you really do have to rely on that observer mode and walk around the city and try to find them. Whereas well, if you just have a quest marker pointing to it, I'll just go straight there,
Yeah, exactly. That makes total sense. Do you have any thoughts on these first two Daikon or anything you remember from that?
Not particularly. I just do think it's funny that you say you can assassinate the hedonist from behind. I'm just saying.
If Jen was here, she would make a butt joke.
I just thought it was funny coincidence.
Yes. That is really, really funny. All right. Well, I think this is a good point to take our little mid break, and then we can get back into the final couple members and then talk about final thoughts.
Austin hates my jokes. Confirmed. All right. Yeah, let's get into the mid break.
LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't predict the future, but it can help you feel confident about future hires. Because Hiring Pro combines real-time insights and candidate data from the LinkedIn network with the criteria you've set for your role to deliver you a list of top-fit candidates. Businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
You look like the one thing in the world Alcibiades wouldn't take to bed. Can you even see out of that thing?
Mock all you want. When those malacas in Zakros see this beast charging towards them, they will know fear!
Let's start light. Tell me a joke.
Why must samurai always battle one another? Because there is only one way for a samurai to get ahead. Ahead. I did not say it was a good joke.
Makose! Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. This is where we take time to talk about all the things that have to do with the Assassin's Creed lorecast and not the lore of Assassin's Creed. The first thing that I have to shout out is our amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for all of your support over the years and months. We greatly appreciate it. We really, truly couldn't keep making the show without you. If you want to sign up to support us, to get merch, awesome rewards, t-shirts, stickers, come on the show, get input into what we cover on the show, you can do so for as little as $5 a month. And so if you would like to join us, you can do so at patreon.com/AC Lorecast. That's patreon.com/AC Lorecast. Now, the next best way to support us is to leave us a rating, a review, a comment, whatever you can say, wherever you can say it, we will monitor it. And I do have one to read today from Jay Hanlon 89, who posted an Apple review and said, "Love the cups, 5 stars. I found the pod when Assassin's Creed Shadows came out and I needed a fix while I played. I found this through the Robots Radio and I've been binging ever since. I'm all caught up now. Keep it up." Thank you so much, Jay, for listening and binging. We greatly appreciate the support. The last thing I have to shout out, as you know, is our Discord server. It's the best place on the internet. We have a great time talking about Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, Pokemon, Expedition 33, whatever games you're playing. We'd love to hear about it. You can join us at the link in the episode description. And with that, Austin, I think we're ready to get back into the lore.
Yeah. I also think that you only mentioned Pokemon because it's my current hyperfixation.
Is there something wrong with that?
No. But anyway.
In fact, I'm supporting your hyperfixation.
Really? Because the other day you said you can't wait for this to be over.
I did also say that.
Anyway, back to Assassin's Creed and not Pokemon.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
No, you're right. Let's all just screw around while the world falls to pieces.
Hey, this isn't easy, you know.
Right, like we're all on vacation out here?
Enough! Look, everyone's under a lot of pressure, but we're the only ones who can stop Abstergo, so we need to keep it together.
She's right. We need to be a hive mind, people.
Anybody up for some reconciliatory yoga? Anyone?
Very funny, guys.
You have my thanks. Keep the sword, Ezio. Do I know you from somewhere? Don't you recognize me? It's me, Mario!
Uncle Mario?
It's been too long, Nipote. Far too long.
Malaka! Malaka! Malaka!
So the next one is the Hoarder, or Izumi Bunzo. So he is the true master of the Kyoto Artisan Guilds, so all of there. And basically, he is using the Artisan Guilds to financially bankroll the Shinbaku, basically for their protection and keeping them as daikons. So, like, that's their connection. All of them are doing this so that they can make contributions to the Shinbaku and fund them.
So does that mean that the Hoarder is kind of like the leader of all the daikons?
No.
Okay. Is there a leader of all the daikon?
No.
So they're all independently doing the same bad thing.
They're doing it together, but like they're not like, they're just doing it.
Okay. They're not organized enough for that, basically, then.
Basically, there is a member of the Shinbaku who's organizing them.
Okay.
Which we'll get into. So basically, Bunzo's lacking in his contributions to the Wheel, which is one of the members of the Shinbaku. And so he was denied an audience with the Shinbaku members, and he had to prove himself and his worth to his guild. Unfortunately, he is never given this opportunity because he's assigned to guard the mourner, and he dies.
He gets assassinated.
Yes.
By us.
Yes. And so the Hoarder can be found on an island surrounded by water in the north of where Lake Biwa is, like in the middle of the map, which I just also think it's really funny that, you know, we have Lake Biwa and Siwa and just...
Lots of words overlapping.
Yeah.
Okay, so so what you're saying is that the Hoarder can be assassinated during this main quest with the Mourner, or you can find them earlier on Lake Biwa.
I believe so. And so most likely it's recommended you just do this during the main story because let's kill two birds with one stone.
Right.
And so you're taken to this island so you don't have to try to find it. Like, you're automatically taken there as you're progressing the story of the Mourner, which, if you don't know, spoiler, is the Lady Oichi story. And like, that's important to be there. And so you basically find him near the entrance towards the inner, basically right before you confront Lady Oichi. You can fight him in a group of people. He's a little bit of a harder boss because he's an actual warrior. But if you're playing as Yasuke, which you most likely are.
Which you should be.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah. So the next member is the concubine, Issei Asuka, the concubine is a man. And so basically is the daikon of Kyoto. He disguises himself in feminine guise to infiltrate public gatherings and gather information from his subjects, who he then would turn and extort them with that information.
Okay, so he's not doing it in like a weird sexual way.
No.
Okay, good.
At least as far
as we know.
As we know. And so he can be found in Kyoto settlement in the Yamashiro region. Basically, you can find him through the village and get into there. He is basically sitting in the open listening to some music, so you can easily get in there and assassinate him. But he is guarded by other samurai, so you might want to duck out really, really quickly. But yeah, that's the concubine. And then we've got two more. And so the first one, which I think is the most interesting of them, is the sword hunter, which is Gamo Morinari. And so Morinari is the daikon of Norma Village. However, he basically grew to be brutal and paranoid of his subjects. And so he confiscated all their weaponry from their homes to impede any opposition. And so basically he's one of the few Daikan that we can actually overhear him talking about what he's doing. And so we have a quote, and it says, "This does not tally with the census. Some of those peasants rat must be hiding their swords. No, this won't do. If they have the means to rise up, they will. Steal. I must have more steel." And I want to pause here because I feel like this is one of the most Templar targets we've ever seen. This is so Templar coded of like, we need to take away their means of resisting so I can control them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it sounds less Templar and more mental illness, personally.
Yeah.
Or a combination of both. But I mean, and that's the thing about this game is that like there's nothing to say that random Daikan dude couldn't be a Templar. He absolutely could be. And we just aren't told.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So you can find him in Omi region, and he can be found on the eastern side of Lake Biwa in the Norma village. You find him in that small village in the middle of some farm fields and a couple of buildings. And so there are a ton of soldiers here, and he has 3 bars of health. He is by far the tankiest and the hardest Daikan to take down.
I don't remember this. I don't know if I did all of this one.
You do not have to do all of them to do the Lady Oichi romance.
Yeah, I know. You just have to do the one that's connected to her. But I don't know. I don't think I did him.
It's also possible that you just didn't. You just did it and didn't pay attention because you were checking things off the list.
That is very true.
And so basically that's it. This one I like to fight because I like the idea of some random samurai Yasuke coming up and that he's so afraid of his peasants, and then this random samurai who's heard about what he's doing shows up and ends him.
Yeah. It's a twist of fate for sure.
Yes.
And not just any samurai, a disgraced samurai.
Right. A lordless samurai.
Yeah.
So the connoisseur is the last one that we're going to talk about. So this one is Endo Riku. Basically held the position of Daikan at Kagasaki Castle. He is gluttonous and cruel, and he enjoyed feasting publicly in order to shame and humiliate his subjects. So basically his people would be starving and poor, and he would invite them to watch him feast. So he is the last part of the Corrupt Daikan, and you can't find him easily, as you do need to make your way to Wasaka into this castle. So you can try to stealth your way for the castle, or again, just, Yasuke it up and break down the castle door and do all of that and fight him. But when you basically find him, you find him doing exactly what I just said. He is feasting and taunting his subjects. And I like the idea of just baking down and like just being like, okay, you fat motherfucker, let's fight.
Fair. This one's kind of the one that's like the most insidious to me, is because it's like, it's got this kind of like mental cruelty and torture of like, let me eat this food and feast in front of you, peasant who is starving. To me, that is so much more messed up than the others.
It's giving Denethor and the tomato vibes.
Denethor
and the tomato vibes.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that scene.
Particularly the tomato.
Yeah, well, I love a tomato, man.
Kick-ass song with the most disgusting eating scene accompanied with it.
Yeah.
I feel like Tolkien would approve.
Okay.
All right. So, and then once you eliminate all, you can return to Kuma for your reward. And Lady Oichi's heart.
She has mine, that's for sure.
So, any final thoughts about this? Again, I just feel like this one is a good, I feel like they could have fleshed it out just a little bit more than what they do. And I think that's my problem with the circles, is it's just like a checklist rather than like actually understanding what the people are doing. and the quest and like actually working to like uncover your target and why they need to be assassinated and all of that. Like Assassin's Creed 1 starts off where you have to gather all this intel and you learn what this target is doing, and you have to learn what they're doing and why they need to be sanctioned to assassinate before you can get permission to even do it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I have an interesting thought here, and it doesn't quite fit perfectly, because there's only 6 of them, but I really do feel like a lot of these members embody one of the 7 deadly sins, and so I just want to go through it for a little bit. So, like with the soiled merchant, like he, feels inferior because he's in waste management. He wants to be better, and he's envious of like the other people around him who have like a better position than him. So he embodies envy. The hedonist, I mean, come on, just the name alone.
It's lust.
We know it's lust. Like, come on. With the hoarder, again, pretty obvious, like greed. He's hoarding money, everything, because he wants it for himself. He's greedy. The concubine, I think, kind of fits into sloth because like he's content to just like sit there in his disguise and like listen to people instead of going out and making a change and building up his little area. And then lastly, we have, we have the sword hunter next to last. This is the one I'm a little bit unsure of, but I put wrath because like he's angry at these peasants for hiding their swords, for hiding something from him, from preventing him from being like the best. And then
his
lastly,
anger is unjustified.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And then lastly, the connoisseur, of course, is gluttony, defined by gluttony. And so I just thought that was, I don't know if it was intentional, a little interesting coincidence there, if it wasn't intentional, that they would all kind of fit into those archetypes.
And then the wheel as like the
pride,
the Shibaku, and says pride and like arrogance and
yeah,
things like that.
Yeah, that's great.
So there you go. I made your thing work.
Thank you for helping. But no, I just think it is an interesting coincidence of like, and I think part of it is like, okay, well, with archetypes of characters, they oftentimes do fit into these themes. But, everybody's got a fatal flaw. And a lot of times they do fall into one of these 7 things. But at the end of the day, for me, with these Corrupt Daikan, it's not that I dislike them. It's not that I hate the quest. It's not that I think it's even a bad quest. It's just that, again, as I always say, I want more from this game. I want a little bit more of a story, as you've said. Like if these people were actually tied legitimately into the Templars, like that would make this quest go from like a 4 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 easily.
I 100% agree. And like, this is my thing with Assassin's Creed that I really just want to drive home. And I hope that if anyone at Ubisoft is listening, of like, if we go into Hexe, which is supposed to be set in the Holy Roman Empire, and there's not named with assassins and Templars, and that's not the focus, in like the 1500s, so we're talking about a post-Ezio world,
right?
In the country area just north of where Ezio operates. Come on.
Yeah, like I would be done. Like, I love Assassin's Creed. I know I haven't played every single game. I've played almost every single game. Like, I love this series too. But I just, if Hexa is bad and it's a letdown, I really don't know if I have the strength to keep playing this series.
I kind of agree. And just,
it's sad. It is
sad. But like, it's also just a thing of like, how sustainable is console gaming going to be and all?
Well,
of this?
I think there's a lot of unknowns with that, and I just don't think, I personally don't feel like video game companies are basing their decisions of making games on what console is the most popular or viable at the moment. I think it plays a factor. Don't get me wrong. Consoles are very important. But I think with Xbox kind of like backing off their, oh yeah, our next Xbox is going to be $1,000 bullshit. I think that the video game companies are kind of realizing like, hey, these price increases are not sustainable for our player base.
I also think that, not to get controversial or whatever, but this AI bubble is going to burst, and it's losing millions of dollars right now. And so I think Microsoft is kind of in a moment of like, oh.
Yeah. I agree. I think the AI bubble is going to burst. But I just don't know if I'm confident enough to say how I think that will affect the video game industry in terms of prices. But I just really hope, like the Hexay, going back to this, the setting is so rich for a story that it really would be such a waste if they focused on like the Isu or people outside of the Assassins or the Templars. Like, please just give me a battle, a conflict with the Assassins and the Templars. Like, I beg. And I know that we had a lot of theories too about Shadows, about how like, oh, well, maybe it'll be about the Assassins or the Templars coming and like being from Portugal and going to Japan. And, you know, not a lot of that panned out, which I understand why they made some of the story choices they did, because they didn't want it to just be a story, I think, about colonialism in Japan. I get that. I fully support that. But like, we're on mainland Europe in Hexa. Like, we are on the continent of Europe, like in like Europe, okay? Like, we have got to get back to the traditional stories of Assassin's Creed.
Right. And like, it's really important, like, and this is so important in the era that they're going, like, this is like the European establishments of the Rights of Templars and the Brotherhoods of Assassins is well established in this point. Like, we're talking
hundreds of years.
Right. And we're talking like Ezio has been dead maybe 40 years. Time difference. Like, you can't go there and just say, oh, well, they didn't actually know about the Assassins, because no Assassin's Creed fan is going to believe that.
Well, and not just Assassin's Creed fans. Anybody who understands a timeline, that doesn't make sense. Especially with like how prolific Ezio was. Like, we know that he doesn't just stay in Italy. We know that he doesn't just stay in like his home area. Like, yeah, he does quote unquote retire and raise his family, but like, he's traveled all over.
He goes to Spain.
He goes to Spain. He goes to
Constantinople. And
yes, wherever that country is, like the Middle East, whatever it's called. Like, he's gone all over. You can't tell me that a place 50 miles north of wherever he is doesn't know who he is.
Exactly, 100%. But anyway, that's where I stand on Shadows and the Daikan. Do you have any last thoughts? Otherwise, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, no, my last thoughts. I feel like we're getting a little bit repetitive with these objective board mission episodes where we just like go through it, and it's great to talk about it again. But then at the end, we're just kind of like, yeah, this missed the mark. It could have been better if they had just done this. And that's where I'm at with this one too. I hope you agree, everybody who's listening. But honestly, at the end of the day, like, it was a cohesive mission that wasn't bugged. So like, on some level, it could always be worse, right?
Yeah, it could always be worse.
All right. Well, once again, Austin, thank you so much for doing the research. I greatly appreciated it. This is a great episode. And thank you for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. If you have any lore questions, theories, or topics you'd like us to unpack, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It is the best place on the internet.
You can also support the show financially and ensure its continuation by becoming a patron at patreon.com/ACLorecast. If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, comment or rating, or join our Patreon.
The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio podcasting network. If you enjoyed our show's intro or outro music, give a big shout out to Pipeman Studios.
And until next time, Assassins, and remember, stay in the shadows to serve the light.
When a wasteland detective and a vault girl cross paths, no criminal is safe.
You're both under arrest.
Don't move a muscle if you know what's good for you.
Based in Bethesda's Fallout series, follow Walter and Bunny as they traverse the Texas Commonwealth and New Vegas, busting big crime rings.
We'll need all we can to expand into Vegas territory.
And surviving anything the wasteland can throw at them.
It's him! It's the Mothman!
Featuring a series of nail-biting narratives and guest stars from across the Fallout community. It's anybody's guess what thrilling case is up next.
War never changes, does it, Bunny?
No, it certainly does not.
True Vault Escapades, a Fallout audio drama. Available anywhere you get podcasts.